Hello everyone, and welcome to the final race of the season. A week later than most of the others, but C2 and C4 tonight to finish their seasons. And it should be a good one. We have got a few drivers missing, notably the C4 champion Yai is missing, and let me see, I believe Hayward also missing, who is in the fight for P3, so that's gonna unfortunately for him ruin his chances. Also Justin not here. Oh no, Justin is here actually. Alright, missed that one. And he'll be fighting for P2 in the championship. At the moment, Liam has a healthy lead over Justin by 15 points. But of course, Justin quite often has the pace to win races, and we'll see what he can do. He'll be fighting for second place. Also a good battle in there for third as well. Doppyman there, as well as Brandon, but Brandon isn't here tonight, so he is not likely, of course, to take, well, he's going to be hoping to stay in the 5th place that he's got now, and hoping Jordan can't jump him. So Jordan needs 9 points to jump Brandon, so Jordan needs 10th place, which he's been performing quite decently really in recent races. We've also got a number of reserves in tonight. Callie and Nikia, as well as, let's have a look, Bogrovsky as well. Duyong is also a reserve, if that is correct. So first lap in is Dragon Ducks, but right behind him on mediums, Tonka, who is also fighting for positions down in the kind of the high midfield area in terms of the championship anyway. He's put in a 1.8.2 in the mediums, and only just beaten by the soft run of Golden. He's moving out the way. Liam coming through as well. This is part of the important battling this today's race. Just 2/10 behind Justin. So there's your battle for second place raging right there. Justin coming out on top right now, but we'll see how that progresses through the qualifying session. Jordan, as said, he's looking to make up some positions, so let's see how he can do in the championship. Tonka needing 9 points to catch Hayward. We also have Magic Foot Cannon here as well tonight. He's missed quite a lot of the second half of the season, but not tonight. He's managed to have the time to come tonight. And we have Jordan, he's in the Alfa Romeo as per usual. Callie gets out of the way. Okay, and coming up for the run to the line. I really enjoy this run to the line. It's not straight at all, as you can see. It's actually really cut across the pit entrance, and it's coming up to the line. A decent time of 1:07.8 by Jordan. Good time right there. Let's have a look. We have Nikia. Nikia coming through for a flying lap of his own. He's just turned this turn 5, so let's see how he goes. It looked like it was a purple sector 1 for Nikia in the Mercedes car. the reserve. He's making time. He's making points for in this league. In C4, it's either Caterham. I'll actually check, but it's either Caterham, Caterham Manor or Arrows, and for Nikia it's Caterham, as and Nikia himself reserving a few races. He's got himself into 18th place with 12 points. Kala is the other reserve. He's Arrows. He'll be getting points for Arrows. He has got 6 points. Bogrowski 5 points in Caterham. PJ Manor, he's got none, and Little Blue hang in the Arrows, he's on no points, but he's only raced one race. The other reserve for Caterham is sorry, not for Manor, is Golden, and he's got 19 points from the races that he has done. So we'll see how that goes. I think I'll go and see Sam H, usually on decent pace in these races. And I think he just kind of qualifies that by heading at purple sector 2, that's the words I'm looking for. DRS to the line, doesn't take the shortest run. It's gotten 12. I always believe it when the timer screen show up purple, but it could be a setup that made him quite in that middle sector against the first and second, which is more straight. That's sort of first and last, which is obviously more straight compared to the infield, full of tight, twisty corners. Liam's out there again on a second flyer, so we'll go and try and watch him going round. He is almost 2/10 up. Now coming into the infield section that I was just talking about, let's see how he negotiates. Gets a good turn round there. We've seen earlier a bit of a slow turn round, so Liam definitely got his driving together. Already doing excellent on his time anyway, let's hope. Thankfully Dragon Duck's crashing does not get in Liam's way, and that's Dragon Duck's out of the race, sorry, out of qualifying. Having that strange crash at the penultimate corners, and Liam takes pole. Liam has taken that pole position, at least for now. Lakmet, who's sometimes on the pace, sometimes off, so we'll see exactly how it goes for him tonight in his Ferrari. Yeah, but especially with his teammate Ainz missing in action tonight. So we'll see Tonka as well. He's 4/10 up. He's doing good. Of course, he's done his first run on the mediums, and Blackmite comes into the pit. So we'll see what Tonka's time he can do now that he is on softs. Coming around to, I really do love how flowing the entire track is. You get one part wrong and it's gonna cost you heaps of time in the qualifying. That might have been Bogrowski accidentally getting in the way of Tonka, but I would hope not. Maybe it was maybe he did get out of the way in time, judging by Tonka coming into the pits. He's aborted that. Of course he is on medium, so that could be a strategy call. His first lap was on the medium, or not wasn't, I'm being stupid, I thought it was. Sorry about that. Calais is crashed just up here actually in the main straight. I don't know how he's managed to do that. And he's out of this qualifying session as well. Documan putting in a time to put him in third in quali. Good lap by the McLaren driver. And it was going to be a better lap for Tonka, so that's a shame that he's had to abort that lap. Justin, he looked like, according to the timing screens, that he was slightly up in sector 1, so we'll have a look and see what his time is going through sector 2, how much he has to improve. He does get a bit of a slide out of there, but he still seems to have got good pace through the rest of the corners, and he's over a tenth up. It's going to be very close to see if this can pit Liam, but there's still 6.5 minutes to go, and he's decided to pit rather than finish the lap. Document is on an in lap, but Jordan is on an out, but he's slow, so... Oh, we go on board at the worst time for Sam as he spins it at the end of this second sector. No one coming, so he can get back on track, but that's the end of that for him. A big lock up for Cassell into turn 1, going through the centre S's, and invalidates in turn 3. So that's not good for him. Composite, he manages to just get through turn 2 and 3. The Senna S's, no problem. A bit late on the DRS, but that shouldn't matter too much. Must have been a much worse run through the first corners, as he was half a second down. Cassell is already invalidated. Is Bolkowski on a quick one? He would be, I think, but he has invalidated the lap. So no one out there on a fast lap. Golden. Well, actually, saying that, Tonka's just began his, and so's Jordan. They're right next to each other on the track. Won't be especially great for Tonka with the dirty air, especially through the S's. Let's see if that affected them at all. They're both on flying laps, neither need to get out of the way. He's up by 4/10. Oh, but he loses the back end, getting too much curb out at the exit of turn 4. We'll see how badly that's affected him. Jordan and the Alpha just in front, the two Alphas really, the Alpha Tauri and Alpha Romeo. Let's see, they're still very close to each other, which won't particularly be good for Tonka, especially at this track. He's still almost 3/10 up though, even with that mistake at the exit of turn 4, so it cannot be that bad. We haven't really, Jordan's actually pitting, and so is Tonka. Deciding not to continue with the laps now. It's a bit surprising. That's the second time I've seen Tonka doing that, and we did check that his first lap was not done on mediums, unless the game is a bit glitched, but I don't think it is. Oh, I'd like it to be, because that would prove me as being right. Cassell, did he just finish that lap? I believe he did. It's pushed him up to 7th. It's a sub 1.8, which is good. As he's going around trying to improve his time and position. Let's see where he can get. Getting the braking right over the curb on that long run to the line. See, you can still lose time here. Just take the best lines. He's actually coming into the pits as well. A lot of drivers doing that. Golden definitely struggled there. I don't know whether he had just completed a lap. He's in 7th now. Liam has started a fast lap. We've missed him going through the S's, but it's 10 seconds on the clock as he came through them. He's slightly slower, but that's nothing to really worry about. That was, though, that big snap in the exit of turn 4, which we've seen a few drivers do. We've seen Tonka doing it just a few minutes ago, and now the provisional pole sitter Liam has done it too. Nicky out. he's coming to the line. Let's see the time that he can set. It's an improvement by 0.2, just over 0.2, putting him in 12th. Magic Foot Cannon making his return to action tonight. And let's see what he can do. He was actually leading the championship for quite a while until he could no longer make many of the races. Oh, someone's off there. One of the Hasses, I believe, which would make it Cassell, if I was right. Let's see the time Magic Foot Cannon gets. 0.3 improvement. He puts himself in 10th, and it definitely is Cassell, who is somehow in 8th gear. And yeah, he's been disqualified. I'm not sure what's went wrong there, but he's been disqualified from the session. Liam going for another lap on these softs, or maybe it's an in lap. Not sure. We've got Jordan here. We'll watch him as he starts the fire. Couple of yellow flags out on the track. Jordan's slightly slower when he's fastest time. He got a lot of curb in turn 4, but he didn't get the spin that we've seen a lot of people having to deal with on the exit. And now he comes through the infield section, and we'll see how he comes out of this. He's not got any wobbles on there as he catches Magic Foot Cannon, I believe. He does go wide through there, so we'll see how that deals with. Yeah, it's a bit slower. It's not been the best of runs there from Jordan. Doppyman, he's starting a flyer, but we'll see if Jordan can actually improve. I think he's coming into the pits. No, he's not, but he's cut the line. And that's the game. Cancels his lap essentially, so that stops that. Okay, we've got Justin Slows. Now I think he was on a flyer, but he's given it up. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe a mistake, and he knew he wasn't going to go quicker anyway, so he lets Doppyman through, who wants to challenge. He's not too far behind. Tonka puts in a good lap, improving by 3.5 tenths. Goes into 4th. Good for him. Doppyman coming round doesn't get a good. He does not get a good exit, and that's going to hamper him going up the hill. And yeah, he gave up halfway up the hill. So we've got that set out. Jordan letting someone go through. I don't think, yeah, there's no one coming, so he's retiring on track. That's not too much of an issue since no one's coming. We've still got Bogorowski, who is doing his final lap. He's in 11th place right now. Nope, he's actually slowed it as well, and I think that is us then. Yeah, I do believe that is us. Wait for confirmation. Decent qualifying. Liam actually taking pole, and Bogorowski actually out fuel. So that is qualifying over. Liam taking pole by a decent chunk of time. To Justin in second at 1.5 tenths, then Doppyman, Tonka in 4th, reserve driver Byong, I'm sorry if I am pronouncing that wrong, which I probably am, and 5th, then Jordan Cycle Lakme at 7th, Golden 8th, Magic Foot Cannon in top 10, 9th, Hunes in 10th, Bogorowski 11th, Nicky at 12th, Composite 13th, Sam in 14th, and I'll get the rest of that in a second. So we're just waiting. Looks a bit overcast. But we're waiting for some guys to set up for their setups. Not sure if it's raining. I haven't going to rain, I should say. I haven't actually checked with the guys. But we'll see. So looking like a one stop from soft to hards or medium to hards. Let's see what the drivers have chosen. I don't know why I'm looking at that. It's not really been that long since I've done this. That was a bit weird that I couldn't get that one to go up for me. Here we go. So top 10 start with what they qualified on, as per usual. Bogrovsky, the first outside the top 10, will start on the mediums. Nicky has chosen to still start on the softs, getting himself maybe a better launch off the start and more speed at the beginning. Composites, Sam, who's in 14th, a bit far down, and Callie with mediums in 15th. Dragon Ducks start the only driver to start on hards, and Cassell, who got disqualified strangely from the qualifying session. Not really sure what was going on there. He is starting on softs. I do wonder if there's don't know whether he's chosen softs or something wrong with his game. There's actually a big gap, or there was. Magic Put Cannon starting to close it down, but there was a relatively big gap between the top 8 to the rest of the field. You can see we got a McLaren fan. That was Brandon, I think, actually, watching along. So, talking about that, we got Dolphy Man in McLaren, and got a good qualifying position in third. Can't say the same for Sam this time around. Trying to get a good view of the start. Can't be difficult. Here we go. Weirdly enough, Doppy Man's the best view of the start. It's a good start for Justin. He grabs the lead as our timing screens go crazy. Side by side at the front almost, but Liam manages to keep that second place from Doppy Man. Golden has managed to move quite far up. I think everyone's got through safely, which is good to see. Golden side by side with Jordan, and he's into the wall, comes back. Oh, and Lackmet's got a 3-second time penalty already, and Magic Put Cannon gets past Golden. Golden actually looking to fight that back. He helps Magic Put Cannon get back on, but then Magic Put Cannon and Golden come together, and that's dropped Magic Put Cannon pretty far down the field. Also pretty far down are Callie and Hunes. Hunes not getting the best. Obviously the gaps are not accurate to what is actually happening there. The AlphaTauri driver way behind, and Callie struggling as well. Is there a crash there as well? Is it Jordan? And no, I think. Oh, we have got a slide from Blackmet. He's just about hanging in there. Cassell has pitted at the end of lap 1. It's Tonka has dropped a few places there. It is actually true that the reserve driver of Young has made it up to 4th. It's hard to tell sometimes what is actually accurate with these with the timing screens until they fix themselves out. So I was unsure if that was actually what happened, but yeah, we've still got Liam. Liam's there, chasing Justin. Liam doing the maths himself earlier. knows that all he needs to keep his second place is fourth if Justin wins. So no need to take too many risks. Says there's DRS, there won't be now. It will be activated, be able to be activated starting this lap. Liam goes deep after getting on the grass, just that tiny bit. I think a bit of a look in there. Tonka, he's now settled Blackmate already with a 3-second penalty, which is amazing after 4 corners. After 4 corners he got that. Not sure what happened there. Jordan in 6th, he's doing a decent job as well. Magic Poop Cannon, he'll be disappointed with the start that he got in the end there. It looked quite good until he had a collision with Golden, who himself is chasing Blackmate in the Ferrari. So we'll see how that goes. Nikia just loses the back end. That'll give Composite a chance to sneak it up the inside, and he just about does. Nikia wanted to have another look, but not able to. And Composite up to 9th with the mediums. Tonka does close in under braking on the French driver. I think he's French. And into the DRS zone into turn 4. He's still not going to be close enough, but all the time gain. And let's see, it's a wide movement from view in front. Tonkin not taking any risks there, and he'll be turning. He'll, at the moment, I would imagine, be following the man in the racing point in front. Until he gets back to the DRS zone on the main straight. And Jordan also lying in wait for any mistakes as Blackmate falls further behind. He's a good 2 seconds behind. Definitely got the better straight line speed. The DRS is going to help. No need for overtake mode as Tonka makes it quite easily through on the straight before the NSs. And Jordan just continues to close in that gap, and now it's a 3-second penalty for the man in 5th place. So to our chat, someone saying Justin's going to win. I mean, truth, anything can happen, but yeah, he is starting to stretch that lead. Well, it's just came in a bit. It's at 1.6 seconds now, as we watch the battle for 4th place in the race. Liam kinda now closing just a tiny bit, but not all too much, as Doppyman stays just outside that DRS zone, which he'll want to get back into. Back on the action, we're watching Jordan again looking for a mistake. He's needing to use his overtake mode to make the space, and even with the DRS on Black, he's just managed to sneak by before the corner, before the braking zone, and Jordan is up to 5th. Race point driver starting to fall back, but it's had a really good start to the race. You cannot fault him for that. And now we've got Jordan, who at the latter end of this season has definitely picked up speed. Seemed to come after the Nations Cup. He seemed to just get better and better around that time, and that has continued as he now chases down Tonka for 4th place in the race. We'll just go to the lead right now. Pretty comfortable right now for Justin, just managing that gap. at the 1.6, 1.7 range. Doppelman starting to fall back a bit, and it's a 2.25 second gap to Tonka, and Jordan, almost said Justin, Jordan is in Tonka's DRS once again. Maybe it is that Jordan has the better race pace tonight over Tonka. Getting into that DRS is one thing, getting past is another. Both having a bit of a slide through there, so we'll see. Softs. I mean, tyre life isn't actually too bad here, but those softs will be starting to give out just a little bit. I don't think anybody will be intending to do a 2-stop. I think it will all be 1-stops, unless safety cars get in the way. Tonka managing to make a bit of a gap in the middle section. In the infield section, so maybe a better downforce package for, or a better downforce setup for Tonka in terms of Jordan, who seems to have the pace on the straight. Looks like Golden's just been passed by Nikia. They were still fighting quite close. That's Nikia up at 8th place. Not bad between them two now, having a wee scrap of their own. Composite must have been passed at some point as well by both drivers. Sorry to have missed that, but Composite has actually dropped behind them by a good 2 seconds now. Jordan seems to not be having a great exit out of the corner that leads onto this run to the line, which will really make it difficult for him to get the overtake that he wants on Tonka. Tonka closing in on Doppelman as well, who's falling even more behind the front two, who are keeping that relative gap the same at 1.5 seconds. He actually got back into DRS a lap or two ago, but now he's 2 seconds away with the Ferrari of Lachmet just closing that in. We'll see how close he's getting. It's so Lachmet's got more speed at the end of his stint, or getting towards the end of his stint. Maybe better at preserving those tyres, soft tyres. So let's see. There was a close, just have a little look further back from now. As the gaps are a bit wide, we can see that Sam, in the second of the McLarens, at least the second of the McLarens for today, is in the championship as well, is looking to have a go in Composite. Both run extremely wide. Overtake DRS, he's not going to get side by side. He does get really close, but gets a horrible run through the centre X's, and Laxmet gets a reserve driver into turn 4. And the speed that he's been showing, he'll want to be getting right on to the back of Jordan. You'll have clean air as long as he can pull away. Easier said than done, of course, but Golden still in his own scrap with Nikia, but no, managed to avoid the... Yeah, Composite gets by into 9th because of Golden having a spin, manages to avoid the barriers, so no damage, and he can continue on, but his race with Nikia in a bit of problem now, and we'll see. A lock-up from Lachmet, and getting back into the fight with the Racing Point behind, but still closing in on Jordan. So both of these drivers are closing in on Jordan now, who is falling behind Tonka. Tonka, who has done quite the opposite. Golden has just managed to get past Composite in turn 4. Will Sam go for it? He's looking at it. I think he was really wanting to go for that, but he ends up just having to back out rather than take both men out of the race. So Tonka has managed to catch up on Doppyman, who's definitely waning at the end of this stint. It won't be too long till we might start seeing pit stops. Another run wide, seen that quite a bit. Might have even been what happened to Cali in quali that ended up with him out of the qualifying session with the crash. Ooh, gets a bit of a tank slapper, but he corrects it no problem. Not much overtake at all left, so that's going to make it difficult. DRS engaged, but not enough on that. Absolutely cracking race. He runs wide. I was just about to say, absolutely cracking race from this driver. Composite having a battle through turn 4, turn 5 with Sam. Gets might have been a bit of a touch, but he gets a bit wayward, and Magic Pipcan sneaks through as well. Very good driver, but he's not been on in competitive action for at least a month. I'm not sure. Both Sam and Magic can almost lose it, but he's really close to the back. I want to see how this one plays out for 10th place, but Tonka side by side through turn 1 through the S's and has an excellent overtake to get onto the podium. And whoa, what's that? Oh right, okay, should have looked. Jordan's pitted for the hards, and Magic put behind and got past Sam as well. Missed that one. Blackmack is now 5 seconds behind Doppyman and Tonka as he defends and battles with the Racing Point driver. It's like both the Alfa Romeo, they both in hards, but one on quite worn hards, had their own little battle at the front. Justin is the first to blank at the front, but oh no, Liam picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. They're all in the same lap. They all had the same strategy. Nikia, however, doesn't, and stays out. Same with Golden. And will Nikia take the lead, or will Justin still be in the lead? Nikia just about taking the lead, and Justin behind on those hards. Brand new hards versus new softs. I'm sure Nikia will be in this lap. Golden, he's running on softs as well still. Good difference between is Sam H and Composite. They are both on mediums from the start, so quite a different situation from them. Tonka and Doppyman just put on the hards. So we're starting to see that one stop come into effect. No one swapped onto the mediums during that pit stop, so it's no 2-stop. If anybody does happen, Justin's got the speed. He's going around the outside and gets that done without any problems. Liam needs to use this time to maybe try and catch up. He ended up about 2 seconds behind. He's also of course got that 5-second penalty. Let's have a little look at the penalty 5 seconds for Liam, which we've seen, 6 for Buyang, and 3 for Golden Sam, Bogrovsky, Lakmet and Dragons. So there we go. So Golden and Nikia continue going. Now, if we look back to some of the other races that happened last week, there was a mixture really of that one stop. So you had people from the top 10, you had people that started on those softs and went onto the hards, like the majority of people have chosen to do, but we had others that pushed the softs to their absolute limit and switched them in mediums for the end, which it looks like Golden and Nikia are attempting. I believe, at least in C3, it was that soft to medium that got the win. So let's see how that plays out. They don't seem to be losing too much time, and Tunes loses it somehow into the barriers in sector 2. In fact, we're seeing lots of people just avoid those barriers, Golden being one of them. Nikia hasn't got so lucky, and Tunes hasn't got so lucky, and he'll be needing to pit. And I think he was on, it looks like he was on new hard, so that's like pitting again, and he's almost lapped as well, so it's not a good race for the AlphaTauri driver. So 2 seconds gap for Nikia, that is not bad. And who's it? Who's crashed? I'm not sure who it was, but there was definitely a yellow flag and a stationary McLaren. I did not know where Ferrari came from there. That's Tonka made up a space and not having to do much of an issue there. He started in medium, so he'll be going to hards to the end. He'll not have an issue there at all. Liam only now gets past Nikia. He'll be happy with his performance, still being in third on those softs. Golden as well, he's in fourth with those softs, and still pretty close to both Justin and Liam. Liam now losing time to Justin even more when he was stuck behind behind Nikia. Let's see if we can close that down, but I don't think so. It's actually seemingly getting just that little bit wider. It's heading towards 3 seconds. Tonka, on the other hand, he is catching Golden, who will be pitting soon. The softs cannot stand much longer, and actually there we go, he's coming into the pit. Tonka taking as much slipstream benefit as he could as both soft runners enter the pit on the halfway mark, lap 18 of 36, and it's Justin, Liam, Tonka and Doppyman. So yeah, it's essentially as it were with the pit stops. The only real difference is the gaps are now much bigger. Saying that though, it's too different for this fight for 5th. I do think Sam was the one that had the final corner, not the final corner, but the final braking zone. Jordan almost loses it. His pot dropper did try to take advantage, but couldn't quite, didn't want to get involved in an accident. But Jordan is struggling. It's a good close battle for 5th between these 3 drivers. So we'll see how that goes between them. It's a 4-second gap for the lead. Justin is just flying away, and the guy in the chat that said Justin's gonna win this, yeah, it looks like it will be, but Liam will still, as it stands, be second in the championship because of the points gap that he already had. So Jordan loses a place there through the S's. Nice overtake there. Black Met's had the chance to pull away a bit as these two battled, but he's starting to be caught now. Nekia on the better tyres as well as Golden. They'll be looking to fight back through. Dragon Duck is the first attempt from Nekia. Let's see how this goes for him. He's going for an optimistic move and he actually makes it pull off. Good driving from both drivers. Good from both drivers. Absolutely not writing Tonka off. Always got the speed. Sometimes not got the luck, but always got the speed. And actually, as we're saying it, he is closing in that gap to Liam. Ever so slightly, and there is still 16 laps to go, so anything can happen. You're absolutely correct. I get Paul in the chat. But other people I wouldn't write off are the guys that are, well, there we go, nice overtake by Magic Foot Cannon, only catching the end of it on Cali. Golden's got a 3-second penalty. I think that's his second 3-second penalty. I love the fact that I can just check these easy if I use the right if I use the right buttons. Yeah, that's his second. He goes deep into the turn. He's got a good gap though. Bogorowski has now been mauled by Nekia as he makes his run through the field on his fresh mediums to go to the end. I'm really looking forward to see how that works out. Is that Sam or is that Doppy Man? It's Sam in sector 2. He's spun. I hope he's not overheated those tyres. He's having a bad day. Bogorowski, he's in the pits. That's why he's losing positions. Tonka keeps pulling away from Doppy Man, so he's got that podium, it seems, at the moment. It's that 3-second gap. Black Mac kind of holding stationary at the gap that he's got, but he's got this really fast reserve driver tonight. Coming back at him, he's pulled away from Jordan, who seems to have been struggling now for pace, although that is now 9 seconds worth of penalties. Of course, my own brain forgetting that Liam's penalty is not a 3-second penalty, it's a 5-second penalty, so Tonka only needs, in terms of second place, to get within that 5-second barrier. We don't know Tonka's warning situation. What we do know is at the moment he's got no penalties, and that is going to help his race out a lot. It's Justin also with no penalties, so that will not help his case. Cali is pitted. Magic Poop Cannon catching on Dragon, who is in the points, which is good. He's got 1 point to his name, but he's getting better and better. He's had quite a bit of bad luck that has stopped him from getting some decent points on the board and on races, but this might be the race where he can get just that final few points to add to his tally, and I'd say good luck to him on that. He has got to defend though from Magic Poop Cannon, who is also struggling a bit today. I guess you could probably expect that with him being away for a little bit. Tonka, if we look up on the timings, closing in on that 5 seconds that he needs to take Liam's second. Again, using Liam's maths, which I hope is right, that would still give him second in the championship, even if it's third in the race. So we'll keep an eye on all those eventualities. The C4 champion gone. That is the big fight today. Tokarowski puts in the fastest lap. He's pointing on to softs. Probably going to try to take them to the end. He gets a 3-second time penalty though. That's definitely the closest battle at the moment is Dragon Ducks and Magic Foot Cannon. He's looking for ways through in even the most unorthodox places, and he may have got it. He's just on the back end. He's trying to switch back. Dragon Ducks tries very well to stop that from happening, not letting him through at all. Even had a look there, did Magic Foot Cannon, but it wasn't going to happen. The speed should easily get it happening here, though. It's both of them go side by side, and Magic Foot Cannon gets up to 9th, and Dragon Ducks is behind. Of course, Dragon Ducks started on the hards. Quite obvious that he is going to try and go into softs at the end and finish this off. There's a few other guys have decided to do as well. Penalties have affected some people more than others. Some people managing to not get those penalties at all. So far, still 12 laps to go. Callie getting one of those penalties that I was just talking about as I say it. It's Nicky has not closed as quickly on Jordan as I thought he would. Considering it seemed like Jordan was struggling a bit, maybe he's got it back together because the gap's not really moved. What gap has moved though, unfortunately, because it was quite a nice battle to sit and watch when we were watching it earlier. Black Mets managed to pull away from Bouillon, but it was an excellent battle whilst it was going on, and let's just say it could still come back. Because it's only 2 seconds. Oh, Tonka nearly losing it, but keeps in there. Came back to Tonka because he had lost a second, just over a second to Liam. I'm not sure where. Sam sorry, not Sam. Doffyman about to lap his teammate. Ghosting still on for Season 7, Season 8, Ghosting will not be on, and Sam would be obliged to get out of the way completely. Actually, just kind of still obliged to do it, but he isn't. Most of the time, but as long as it's not affecting Doffyman, it shouldn't matter. There we go, he does get out of the way, he lets him go through. As Doffyman is definitely closing. I wonder if what they were doing there was allowing him to get his slipstream and not slow him down, just to get him that bit closer to Tonka, who is losing more time to Liam, who in all fairness is also closing in on Justin as well. Liam's just picked up the pace, it seems, and yeah, Doppyman's lost a bit of time now that he's in front of his lap teammate. Let's find. Nicky is starting now to get very close to Jordan. There's a 3.5 second gap to the next guy. He won't get the DRS this lap. Callie gets past Golden. Actually, they're having a battle. Let's see, very close. Golden brakes very early. Did he let him through? I think he may have. Maybe there was a touch and he felt like it was unfair. Oh well, or he just forgot where his braking was, because he went very wide there and still tried to take the position. So, let's see, it's still a 2 second gap between Lackmet and the Racing Point driver, so that's not likely to come to fruition. There's a battle again at the end. That's a bit of a shame because that was excellent. Oh my god, Golden and Callie having a good battle over 14. Catching Dragon Ducks as well. All these drivers on softs. Oh no! We're just talking about Lachmet being well ahead. And or keeping that 2-second gap, not well ahead, but keeping that 2-second gap, but he's split. Wait, safety car deployed. And a big lock-up from Lachmet, probably to stay within the delta. Dragon Ducks 5-second penalty for speeding. That's not even 5-second penalty, they're drive-throughs both for Dragon Ducks and Bogorowski. That's a shame for both those drivers. Magic Poop Cannon, he's diving in for some softs, I can almost guarantee. Actually, let's have a little. So who has Tonka came in for softs? Nicky came in for soft. Jordan's came in for soft. Magic Poop Cannon, Lachmet, he had to. I believe Composite, he was in for softs. Bogorowski doing his, well, he can't do his drive through. He'll be coming in for softs. I think the safety car must have been for Lachmet, but I think it's an overreaction, let's say, by the by race control. Lachmet let the guys through quite safely, and yeah, but the safety car was called regardless. So, Liam and Justin pitting now. Was Liam held? Oh yes, of course he was. He's held for his 5-second penalty. Liam's went on mediums. Rather strange one with very few laps to go. Maybe he didn't have any fresh softs left. Still what I thought, even worn softs will do the 6 laps though, so that's a slightly worn from qualifying. Maybe the game did not change the tyres. So we've got Doppyman actually being the one leading the race. We can definitely not rule out anything now. I think Nikia pitted for mediums as well, and so did Tonka 2 and Composite. So yeah, there are actually different strategies about, even with 7 laps to go. You've got reserve driver in the Racing Point not pitting, still on those hards, sticking with original strategy. Might be worth it, I'm not sure, but with the guys behind only actually on mediums, might actually work out. And Doppyman also staying out. The hards can go at the end, there is no issue there. But Justin on softs, I suspect we'll see that as he'll drive right through. But between them, and this game does not allow lap cars to unlap themselves under the safety car, he's got Galaxy between them, so that's good for Doppyman. He's got Liam, Tonka and Nikia all behind. Jordan on softs, so here's where it starts becoming interesting, is the guys on softs. Jordan, who has been struggling a bit I think today with pace, but on softs he should be quicker. Magic Poop Cannon as well. Lachmet, who had the incident when he was in he was in 5th actually, down in 9th, but he's got softs. Decided not to pit, he was already on softs and Composite. They've got down at the back, guys lapped as well. Tunes, I think it's let's not usually what I look at, but the gap to the leader, yeah, 1-3 laps there. There's, if they weren't lapped, this should have brought them right back into it. So Bogorowski himself, he'll be happy. That brings him back into it. Doesn't really, not a bad thing for him at all. Means he's not no threat from behind as well, because he's a lap ahead. So let's actually bounce back to the front as the safety car is coming in. It's going to be a quick dash to the end. Let's see what was the correct decision as well. Staying out. Black met 5 second penalty with a touch with Magic Foot Cannon. He'll have got that as well, but this is looking close. You've got to wait for the line. All 4 of these guys. I must admit the goal of trying that on Justin, but got a better reaction to the start. Nice try, didn't quite work out, and now Liam is coming after him, trying to get into 3rd place, make it safe. He gets round. Tonka's just behind us as well. We're starting to see that staying out in the hard, at least for the Racing Point driver, was not the best decision. But still a second gap for Doppelman and no DRS for the first 2 laps after the safety car, so that may help him a bit. It seemingly could help his position. Nikia's actually fallen back from Tonka at the moment, and he's got the four soft drivers behind, the 4 soft tyre drivers behind, really bearing down on him already, as Justin side by side with Doppelman. Doppelman might want to keep it in there. Can he keep it in there? No, he's just not got enough grip on those hard tyres, as Liam will be looking to make the move as quickly as possible. He's now within DRS, which will be available starting the next lap. Tonka, same for him, he's closing in on the Racing Point driver, and he'll probably choose to wait rather than take a risk. Choose to wait for the DRS straight. It won't be available as DRS, but I think he could probably do what Justin did to Doppelman. Composite getting the overtake on Golden, who didn't pit. These ones, the older softs, those mediums probably will be better at this point, which is maybe what the gamble for putting on the mediums was, as opposed to the softs at that safety car point. Yeah, it's going to be an easy one for Tonka. Gets himself into 4th place. Tonka will be, I would imagine, here's DRS as available now. Tonka would imagine be a bit disappointed if he did miss out on a podium. He's had a really good race, and of course Liam has served that 5 seconds, so he does need to pass him. Doppelman with penalties of his own though. Let's just have a look. That's a 3-second penalty, so that keeps Tonka on the podium, at least at the moment. That 3rd place, as it would be, but when it was, yeah, it was 3rd place before, so yeah, maybe okay with that. Nikia now starting to bear down, but Jordan right behind, he's got softs. Didn't get the best run there, so will, I think, miss out. He's not got the best setup, I don't think. Andrew's out of VRS as well. Oh, went very deep and loses a position to Magic Foot Cannon, and skips over turn 3 on the on the outside. Magic Foot Cannon now being the one that's really bearing down on Nikia. Close to Doppelman, doesn't need to take much risk. Well, he decides to do it anyway. He didn't have to take much risk, and he does, and he gets through on Doppelman. He gets it done on track. He didn't want to wait for the penalties to sort it out for him. He wants to go after Justin if he can. Got to say that is very unlikely. Same age of tyres, but Justin is on the better soft tyre. It should be still better at this point. a reason why I was surprised that some people went onto those tyres. And Tonka's not one away either. He's got that overtake done, as Kali has got a yellow, is brought out yellow flags in sector 3. Doppyman fighting back, regardless if it makes makes a difference to the final outcome. These guys just want a great battle on track, and yeah, they are. Oh, Jordan right on the backside of Nikia, coming very close, but good driving between them. He's clearly got the better pace at the moment and the better tyre. I think he wanted to make a lunge, but decided better not. Don't need any accidents at the end of the race. Well, let's just have a look at this, especially that he kind of does need to get the move done, doesn't he? And then make a gap. That's not likely, so that might be another reason why he didn't risk. He's out of ERS so early on that straight, and DRS not getting him close enough. I mean, it's been, oh, yellow flags, and it's Magic Poop Cannon and Lacmet and Composite there as well. I'm not sure who he was with, but that's Magic Poop Cannon falling out of the points as Composite gets passed by Lacmet into 9th. Tonka and Doffyman continue the battle as well. Excellent that they haven't just given up because they know one's going to win on penalties. They just continue battling, which is great to see. Let's go back to this and see the ending of this one, which is Justin taking the checkered flag and wins in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Liam will come home in 2nd place. Doffyman get the overtake, but Tonka will be on the podium. Nikia in 5th, Jordan 6th, Pyong in 8th, unfortunately falls behind Cassell. Lacmet coming in, it's even dropped to 9th because of that late safety car. Composite 8 points. Lacmet, Magic Put Cannon comes across in 11th. Didn't work out for Golden, the different strategy, and then not pitting Dragon Ducks to finish, and Cash coming over the line, finishing in 14th. Great race to end the season. Just as most races this season, it's been an interesting, fantastic race to top it all off, and I think that gives Liam the 2nd place. The standings will be out later on tonight for anyone that wants to confirm that for themselves, and we'll also see if we can get some of the drivers, well, the top 3. We'll see if we can get the top 3 in for a chat. This sometimes takes a couple of minutes, so let's do that right now. But as I said, excellent race once again. Which are Liam, Tonka, and of course Justin, and well, I think that says everything you need to know. The reaction from Liam, who has just joined. I guess if you, as I'm inviting some other people, if you just want to explain explain how you feel, because that's you, I believe, secure P2 in the championship.
Well, this feels amazing. I mean, the beginning of the season, I was like, oh no, this is going to be terribly wrong. My cooling time was very bad. But yeah, when the season went on, when the season went on, I was just feeling more and more comfortable with the season, and end up in the second place of the season. It feels amazing.
Yeah, so you got pole position, which was a good duel for pole actually as well. So that really helped you with the good qualifying. But Justin got past you quite quickly. So how did you feel? You were trying to keep that gap, I think. So is what it looked like.
Well, I was an idiot and was running grid for the way too long, and I was using way too much DRS. So yeah, and I was like, oh no, I only have I have less than 1 lap of fuel. I'm almost negative, and I had that until the safety car. So yeah, that was from me trying to keep up with just. And I think that was noticeable on stream because yeah, on the straights I was just so slow.
Yeah, I think a couple of people were quicker in the infield but slower in the straights. I think it just depended how people decided to set up, really. I think we'll switch to Tonka.
Yes, boy, how's things?
Yeah, everything is fine. You had Paul in the chat really staying by your side, being like, do not give up on Tonka. He can still do this. He can still get the. He's really behind you, especially with the 5-second penalty that Liam had.
Yeah, exactly.
And fortunately, the safety car kind of negated that in the end. But how was the race from your perspective?
Yeah, the race was really, really enjoyable. Obviously, the qualifying was quite tough. Very, very, very fast from Justin and Liam. Dopey Man too as well, put in a couple of good times there, so I knew it was going to be hard. I put in a really good time in the mediums, and I was thinking that I could go out and grab a pole, but yeah, Justin went out there and done his thing. But the race then was quite good. I got out there really bad start. I slipped down to 6th, then I was kind of battling my way up into 4th. Guys in front of me were quite quick as well, so first 10 laps was quite enjoyable, and then I kind of broke up a bit the race. So yeah, I seen that Lambo had a 5-second penalty. So, and this is the first race I think it's the first race I didn't collect any penalties, if I'm correct. So I was just trying to keep pushing for that second place. But after the safety car came, and it benefited us both really, because we got to go on the mediums and stuff. But yeah, it was a really enjoyable race. I was never going to catch Justin. In fairness, I was really looking for Liam to kind of grab a penalty, because I was quite close to him. But I kept it on the track, same as myself, and it was a good race. Happy for third, definitely, because it's a very, very fast season this year, so definitely happy for third place, can't complain.
Yeah, I think you've done an excellent job. The race that you had to have with the midfield cost you a bit of time, of course, but like you said, definitely. It was an excellent battle there, especially with a new reserve driver as well, I think.
Yeah, he's doing very well as well.
He's doing very well himself there.
Sure.
Jamie picked up so many penalties, but I'm sure he can work on that. I'm just so happy I
didn't have any penalties. The first time I haven't all season, so that's a start of something good, hopefully.
Yeah, and a very good performance to grab that podium. Well done for yourself. And we'll go to our race winner, Justin. How do you feel on that one?
Well, I'm very delighted that I could take P1 today. I know Liam and I will be very close this race. So yeah, after like lap 1, I just tried to take over Liam in the first corner. Oddly that red lights went out quite quickly. And I reacted right on time to be past Liam. So from that on, I knew I had to get that 1 second gap to stay out of his DRS zones, because this track is full with DRS zones. So yeah, if I just managed to keep him out of it, yeah, I knew I would be fine. So yeah.
Yeah, you managed the gap very well. That's with Liam, and that kind of stopped any. Unfortunately for me and the people watching, stopped any battle for the the lead. Unfortunately for us.
Yeah.
But for you, you'll be very happy. I'm sure. You decided to go onto softs onto the safety car at the end, whilst Liam and Tonka went onto the mediums. Do you think that, as well as your pace, of course, but do you think that maybe helped you as well, considering you and Liam had similar pace?
Yeah, I just found out that everybody went to the mediums because it was like less than 10 laps with 3 laps to go on that safety car. So you only have like 7 laps to push on those softs. And in the race, you had to pit like lap 16 or so. So yeah, I knew I would manage those tires to keep it till the end. So yeah, on that moment when I saw that people were going to the mediums, I knew that it was actually sort of job done. I only needed to pass Dopeyman and one remainder or so who didn't get past the safety car. But yeah, after that it was just job done.
Yeah, those guys decided to stay out in the hards because they were on a different strategy anyway, and it probably worked quite well, especially for Dopeyman. But yeah, again, this whole season's been excellent, and I absolutely I thank you guys and everyone else that raced as well throughout the season for giving me good fun races to commentate on, and giving our viewers and yourselves, I guess, because a lot of you rewatch the races back, I know that, for entertaining with the excellent races that we've had all season. So thank you, and well, let's see where everyone ends up next season, and have some fun there as well. Good luck to you.
What the?
Yeah.
Well, thanks. It was nice
Thank
having
you very
as
much.
our yeah, it was nice having you as our commentator, and it was really fun to rewatch the races after we've done them, and we learned from our mistakes by your
Definitely.
commentating.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I thank
A lot
you
of
for
slating,
that.
but a lot of loving too. It's great. Keep it up, my friend.
Well,
Yeah.
I try my best every time. So I'm going to say goodbye to the viewers, and hope to see you all again at some point next season, and maybe be racing with some of with you guys as well next season, depending where we all end up.
Hopefully tier 2. See how we get on.
Yeah. I don't know where I'm going to be, to be honest. We'll see what happens. Okay, goodbye. Oh,
See you around, my friend.
wrong
Bye.
button as per usual.